All right, good morning, good afternoon, good night. It depends your time and your location. Join us today at Eastern is 24. I send the bike and konye chili. Yazelo. I send adru namma. Na yadi ke chinecha da agwagu. Otu ai kwuru otu akwa ya diriri. Ise, ise, ise. Kabapụ na ya ọsọ igosi unu ya bụ ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa ihe agbasa maka Biafran begin exist. Alright, dịka unu si wee nụ oge gara aga Oria Biafran Prime Minister kwuru akwụkwọ gbasara maka the police stations and the courts and some government agencies being shut down. Onye bụ that order. So anyị wetara unu ya bụ ife kunu for the reaction and ka ya bụ ife si aga na Eastern Region. So unu ga ife nwanne nwoke ji maka ya wee bịa ọ kọwasịrị ihe niile dịka o si dị dịka ile ga ya bụ ife Kabaroke drop kwa your own comment if feature n'iru akwụkwọ gbasara maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile okwu. All right, over to you, sir.
Simon Ekpa has reacted to a statement from Shore on Biafra, on the Biafra topic. I repeat, Simon Ekpa has reacted to a statement from Shore on the Biafran topic. This is what Shore said. He said, the southeastern part of Nigeria has practically left Nigeria. As we speak, several federal high courts have stopped working. Police stations, commands and divisions have closed down. And today, the Court of Appeals division in Nnewi, Enugu, and Oka have relocated elsewhere. If you go to the website of the Court of Appeal, the only case they highlighted on the front page is the case against Nnamdi Kanu. To tell you that this is serious. Nobody is coming to talk about Biafra and you call it a child's play. Now, look at this revelation and do your research. Look at it very well and do your research if these things are not happening in the southeast. All because the federal government has refused to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and they are adamant about it. I spoke about Nnamdi Kanu giving the federal government conditions for him stopping the agitation. That was far back 2017. But instead, the federal government went and attacked his home and killed people. You can see the response, the body language of the federal government to dialoguing with Nnamdi Kanu over this Biafra of a thing. Now, it has resulted to the fact that little by little, the southeast is practically leaving Nigeria. You heard from Shore, a Yoruba man, not an Igbo man, not an IPOB, in quote, the current system cannot work. The current system is not designed to work. Look at the reaction from Simon Ekpa. He said, Shore talking sense for the first time, but will his followers agree with him that Southeast has practically left Nigeria? He says after Southeast, he is going to retake South. So how is Simon Ekpa doing this? Ojukwu declared the war. Wazirike went conventional. Protests and all have you. Nnamdi Kanu had to use the media, and at some point, he was making foreign alliances. Everybody is learning from the past. Everybody is learning from the past. And this is what Simon Ekpa is doing. He is intelligently, he is slowly taking over institutions because institutions make a country. You know why Nigeria is not working? Because our institutions are not working. You know why Nigeria can never get better? Not Tinubu. Tinubu is not the major problem. The major problem we have in Nigeria is our evil and corrupt institutions. In America, institutions work. You can become a president of America. So far, the institutions are working. And one thing about our leaders is that they further corrupt the institutions. So Simon Ekpa is trying to gradually take over institutions pragmatically. And even aside that, what Nnamdi Kanu achieved, he made sure that in the consciousness of an average Igbo man, he has left Nigeria. Through the media and broadcast, he has left Nigeria with his radio Biafra. When the injustice persists, the federal government, they needed to make sure that this injustice stop. But instead, they do as if it doesn't concern them, it doesn't bother them. They can always send in the army and clear the region and do whatever they can. These people cannot leave Nigeria. That is the belief of the federal government. But people will get shocked. Most things that some of us, we cannot explain. But you see, there's a divine connection with Biafra that people cannot understand. If somebody is saying that, people are angry. I've been saying this over and over again. People are angry that we are supporting Biafra. They call you IPOB, people are angry. They call somebody else Oduduwa. They are not angry. They call somebody else Arewa. They are not angry. That shows you that there's a divine connection with the word Biafra. And it's very important for us to know that sooner or later, you see, when an institution starts getting corrupt, or like what is happening in the Southeast, when institutions start leaving the Southeast that belongs to Nigeria, when institutions stop functioning, another institution will rise. There's no space for vacuum. When institutions stop functioning, another institution will rise. So now, the federal government needs to do the needful, release Nnamdi Kanu. It is the best bet. It is the best bet for peace to be, for the Southeasterners to have peace. But it seems that they are not concerned about the peace of the Southeast. It is not their priority, it's not their business. Shonibare said another thing. He said, Nigeria must divide for the Igbo man to survive. If you want the Igbo man to survive, Shonibare said it in Lagos in a podcast that Nigeria must divide if the Igbo man would survive. That is what he said. And he's not far from the truth. He's not far from saying the obvious. There's a secret memo that is being passed amongst people in government. Beware of the Igbo. Since Tinubu got into power, you can see a massive campaign against the Igbo. Since Peter Obi won the election, contested for president, and beat Tinubu in Lagos, you can see the massive campaign against the Igbo. In federal institutions, wherever you find yourself in government, there's always a massive campaign against the Igbo. The Igbo have been sentenced not to survive in Nigeria. So for the Igbo man to survive, then Nigeria must divide. That is according to Shonibare. And many people are against what Simon Ekpa is doing. Most Igbos are against what Simon Ekpa is doing. That's the fact. If Simon Ekpa gets into the Southeast today, there are people that are willing to go after his life. That's the fact. But when somebody makes Biafra relevant, he has a part to play. He has a part to play in this Biafra struggle, making Biafra relevant locally and internationally. He's been accused of being sponsored by the APC. He's been accused of so many things. But when you look at having to discuss about Biafra every other time, you give that to Simon Ekpa. Because if Biafra is no more in the news, if the discussion, if Biafra is not making the headlines, it's a dangerous thing. One thing that Nnamdi Kanu did is making sure that the conversation about Biafra is on the lips of every Nigerian. With his trial, with his going to the UK, with his broadcast, with his being arrested, tried in Nigeria, Court of Appeal, come, sentencing, DSS custody, Biafra began to grow in the mind and consciousness of people. And people started making the resolve to leave Nigeria, more in their numbers. They started seeing reasons why they don't need to be in a Nigeria that is working against their destiny. Look at what Atiku called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Atiku said Tinubu was a tribal bigot. So the hatred has gone to the federal level. Look at Bayo Onanuga. Look at someone who called himself Lagospedia on Twitter that said Igbo must go. The hashtag Igbo must go. Lagospedia, an account on Twitter. Government officials were following that account. And another Lagospedia resurrect when they had to call out the guy on trying to cause problem. When Atiku and Obasanjo spoke about the Lagospedia account, the police took action and the guy went into hiding. Whether he was arrested or whatever, I think he was shielded by the Yoruba Ronu and conservatives, those that are sponsoring Igbo hatred. After a while, we have seen another account, Lagospedia. Different spelling. There's no E, different spelling, pushing the same agenda against the Igbos. If all this is happening, do you advise the Igbos to still remain in Nigeria when the hatred, when it involves money, and when the Northerners have taken over the security architecture, the Southwest taking over most positions in the civil service, and it involves money, and these people are in bed to fight the Igbos, they will never agree to give justice to the Igbo because it involves money, involves looting of the country's funds. You know that if an Igbo man like Peter Obi gets there, it will spoil their show. So the political class are very, very cautious about any Southeasterner they are going to give opportunity. They will make sure that they are convinced that you are their puppet. Look at the kind of politicians we have in the Southeast. Look at Orji Okalu, look at Umahi, look at every one of them. They are useless to the Igbo people, but they are useful to the Fulani and the cabals that be, the powers that be, the people that are championing hate against the Igbos. They are useful to them, but their people, they are useless. So this political elite, they are much more careful about people they give opportunities in Nigeria. If they are going to be Igbos from the Southeast, they must be people that are doing their bidding against their people. Look at someone like Nnamdi Kanu that worked against Biafra. I don't know why there was not so much campaign against, let everything about him leave Biafra. Anything that concerns Nnamdi Kanu should not be recognized at all in the Southeast, because these people worked against the interest of the Igbo people because of selfish ambition. Look at Hope Uzodinma, look at Ifeanyi Ubah, and the rest. Uncountable Igbo men selling their fellow Igbo people. So for us to survive in Nigeria, it has been said, we need to physically leave Nigeria. We have spiritually and practically left Nigeria. Somebody was saying the other day, why are you doing your stuff in Lagos? Blah, 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 blah. This is social media, and you are getting these broadcasts. You don't know where I am. You don't know where I am. If I'm in the Southeast, would you know? Practically, we have left Nigeria because the government have refused to dialogue, have refused to bring justice to the Igbo people. With all the excuses they have said all sort of things. They have refused to make sure that these guys have equity, fairness, and justice in Nigeria. These are the most traveled people that have gone to different parts of the country, that are developing where they find themselves. They pay taxes, they make business boom. They are more contributory to the economy of the place they go most times than the people in that place. When you look at major tribes in any city, in any state in Nigeria, the Igbos are coming 1 to 3rd. If not the 2nd largest, they will be the 3rd largest tribe in any state in Nigeria. To show you how unified they are, but how interested they are in Nigeria. But people who have ulterior motives are seeing it as they want to take over. They want to take over our land. They want to take over our government. They want to take over our houses. Some people are saying in Lagos that they say Igbo want to take over. The houses you are selling to an Igbo man, does he take it by force? Like the Fulani that go to your farmland and kill your people and eat their crops and take away their land and make them refugees. The people that you are in bed with. I'm talking about the Southwest politicians, the Southwest whoever that are in bed with the Fulani. How has the Igbo taken over your land? They go through the right processes. You are the government. You have the right to their C of O. Land is 99 years. You renew it. So the government has an upper hand in every land that is being sold in any part of Nigeria. They buy the land, they pay tenement rate, they pay the taxes. And yet you are envious of them. I don't understand. When Shore said that the hatred of every Igbo man is in the blood of Nigerian, that means that's when I knew that it's no way possible for the Igbos to survive in this current contraption It's like we're in a hellhole. Ignorant people will tell you that, and why don't you go now? You see, most times I don't want to engage Yoruba Ronu and conservatives because they are not that intelligent, or they know what they are doing. They know the right thing. They know what they are doing, but they're just creating unnecessary smoke. They're just making unnecessary statements. If you really want Igbos to go, you know what to do. It's not by just telling them leave this place, leave our land. You know really what you have to do for the Igbos to go. Call the federal government, call your senators, your federal lawmakers. Let there be a consensus. Let there be a referendum. Then the Igbos have their referendum. If people really want the Igbos to go, then the referendum will happen. The Lagos you are talking about, if somebody wants to stay in Lagos, he stays in Lagos as a foreigner, he will get his papers. You can do your Yoruba Ronu as you like in Lagos. You can be conservative as you like in Lagos. You can do it. But since there's a 1999 constitution that gives people the liberty to live anywhere, and there's a law in the land, then you have no say. You can't just tell somebody to leave. It's not possible. We are calling on the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu. The most important thing to the Southeasterner is going to bring security in the Southeast, and we'll start building a Igbo. That is the most important thing now. Release Nnamdi Kanu, because politicians will cash in on the detention of Nnamdi Kanu and cause chaos in the Southeast. Because politicians thrive in Nigeria. Politicians, they thrive with dividing the people. They thrive with insecurity. Someone like Hope Uzodinma could have not won a second term if the Southeast was peaceful and the people were together. But because he saw a lacuna of insecurity created by him and the government, he was able to win the elections and even won 27 local government. He was able to militarize the Southeast and make sure that people don't come out to vote and they harass and intimidate you. If you don't even take your time, you might get killed. So the Southeasterners and the Southeast politicians are using the arrest and detention of Nnamdi Kanu to cause chaos in the Southeast and make sure the loot and their evil ambition is fulfilled in the Southeast. That's why we want the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu. It is very easy for the government to see the conditions he gave them 2017 and look at how they are going to reach an agreement whatever they can. But the thing here is that if you release Nnamdi Kanu, it is not a means to an end. If you release Nnamdi Kanu, it is for peace to be in the Southeast. Biafra is non-negotiable at this point in time. You can see what Shonibare said, that institutions of government are packing off from the Southeast. Institutions of government, non-state actors are taking over the Southeast in the presence of where we have governors and government. It might even get to a point in time they might chase away the governor in the Southeast because the federal government has been nonchalant. Have decided to keep more on Nnamdi Kanu's release and not ask the Attorney General of the Federation to make sure that they drop that case and Nnamdi Kanu is free. We have saboteurs in the Southeast, people that are being used by the government in the Southeast to cause havoc in the Southeast. Unknown gunmen, we want to know the unknown gunmen that killed 5 soldiers on Biafra Day. 5 soldiers in Aba. We want to know those people that are kidnapping, using government cover. You just see some youths doing their normal business, you kidnap them, label them IPOB, and put all sorts of allegations against them. This is not new with the police. The police is known for that. So if there's an allegation against the police that the police is arresting youths that are innocent, and you tag them IPOB, it is close to the truth, because police have been doing such a thing. Have you not had an experience with the police whereby they will just carry a drug, put inside your pocket, And when they search your pocket, the drug they put inside your pocket, they will not accuse you of using that drug. If you have had an encounter with the police, you understand what I'm saying. So at this point in time, you'll be there while the Southeast moves on. Then the Yoruba and the Fulani Hausa and the South, they can all join together in their one Nigeria. You see, we are not concerned about oil. We'll say it over and over again. We are not concerned about oil. We are concerned about our heritage, which is our land. See, oil can go to the abyss. We never survived on oil in the past. It is the Nigerian government, that the north and the southwest, that is surviving on our oil. They are the ones surviving on our oil. So we are less concerned about whether there's somebody saying that you want us to join Biafra, because no, we are concerned about our heritage. When his son has an inheritance, he's concerned about his inheritance, so that an outsider will not take over his inheritance. So we are much more focused on our inheritance, not oil. Little by little, the Southeasterners will be leaving Nigeria. And you see, if you are forced to carry out an attack on the Igbo tribe in other parts of the country, you have now signed for Nigeria to divide eventually. This might be a trap that is being set, that these people are frustrating institutions, living, and some people just get angry and they start in Lagos, they start attacking the Igbos, and it becomes an ethnic war. That's why I'm looking at this Yoruba. You don't know what you're doing. Those are things, be careful what you're saying, because there are things you will say when there is an affront. You see, all these things people are saying online, the hatred. Go to Twitter, see the hatred. When it gets to a point whereby people start attacking themselves, each other physically, that's when you know how far. That is when you know that what you are doing online is not child's play. People have the propensity, even with the anger, with the frustration. If there is a physical attack on anybody because of your hate speech and hate statement, Igbo must go, this is that, they are this, they are that. I've not said any, I'm not a bigot, I've not said any evil word against anybody. I only look at your thinking, the way you think, and I attack that third person. So if you are thinking that just saying Igbo must go, Lagospedia, denigrating the Igbos, if it results to a physical attack, physical affront, we know who to hold responsible. And if that begins, that means Nigeria has already gone. If there's a ethnic fight in Lagos, Nigeria has gone. I'm telling you.
Anybody Guadalupe Nenu Kunisibwe Sora ni fine eme ilo akona Eastern 24 ifulifa wana kwa kasini ilo akukwa kifi wali kubasta maka ya bife drop ora feature de kegina Eastern 24 kemesi anu